If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, God damn it, I'm not.
You're running us over, you're shooting us, all because of the color of our skin. All because we have culture, we brought it here, and we are who we are, and we love it here, and we help people here. That's what we're known for. We help people, and yet we're getting terrorized. We're going through this. Our families are our babies are literally being ripped from our hands. If someone could please tell me if there's something we can do if there's something we could do to help our people, please just imagine yourself in our situation. Imagine your people are being terrorized. They're being ran over. If you literally cannot have empathy for someone, I don't know what to tell you. You're an evil ass human being, and you need help, and you need God. You have no heart, and hell, there's a special place in hell for you. Karma is real, and God will take care of them. This is so heartbreaking. I don't know what we can do to help. I feel so helpless. I just want to help with something. I just want this to end. I just want there to be peace like there was peace. I just want that. That's all I want for us.
Somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
JLY. JLY. Analysis in the New York Times this morning. There was an article written saying that President Trump is getting what he wants from these clashes in Los Angeles over immigration and immigration raids. Why? Why does he feel that way? With us now, CNN chief data analyst Harry Enten. So let's unpack that a little bit. The issue of immigration. How is President Trump seen as doing on that?
Yeah, you know, if we just take a look at the baseline numbers here, this is Trump's net approval rating on immigration. It's gone up like a rocket. Compare now versus 8 years ago during Trump's first term. Look at this. In his first term, Trump was way underwater at minus 21 points. But look at this. He's up over 20 points. Now, in the aggregate, he is in positive territory at plus 1 point on his net approval rating. Some other polls even have it a little bit higher than that. There is no issue on which Trump is doing so much better than he was in his first term, more than the issue of immigration. No wonder the Times has written it up the way that he is. Trump is begging for a fight on this because he knows what he's doing so far is working with the American electorate.
Where does immigration rank on issues for him? How is he doing compared to others?
Yeah, so I think what's so important is it is his top issue so far. And the reason it is his top issue is because take a look at the individual nuggets in here. Why are people approving of Trump on immigration, approve of these different immigration actions? Well, Trump's administration's program to deport those here illegally. Look at this, 54% approval. How about agents searching your hometown for those that they think are here illegally? Again, positive territory here, above 50% for Donald Trump. So it's not just on the broad issue of immigration where Trump is doing well. It's on the specifics. When you dive into the issues, Trump is above 50% and his actions are above 50%, at least with those most directly connected to what's going on right now out in Los Angeles.
So Donald Trump, the president, picking a fight on this. And to an extent, you see Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, a Democrat, and the California Governor Gavin Newsom pushing back. So what do voters see in terms of their perceptions of Republicans, the president, or Democrats, say Gavin Newsom on this issue?
Yeah, the American electorate believe that the Democrats don't have a clue on the issue of immigration. I mean, you could just take it here. Closer to trust more in immigration, Democrats versus Republicans. Got 3 different polls for you across the board. They all tell the same story. Republicans lead on the issue of immigration. You see it here, CBS +6. You see it here, CNN +6. You see it here, Ipsos, even bigger, +19. No matter what poll you look at, no matter which way you cut it, the American public is with the Republicans. The American public is with Donald Trump, and to a much greater extent than they were in term number 1. And it's not just on the broad issue of immigration, it's on the specifics as well, in which the American public is with Donald Trump and the Republicans. And that is why Donald Trump is eager to take on this fight and eager.
Yeah, let's have the fight. You guys want a war over immigration? You guys really want to rumble over immigration? I don't think you understand the energies you will disturb if you go balls to the wall for the immigrants, man. Black America is already flirting with divorce from the Democrat Party, led primarily by disgruntled, disaffected, unhappy men. The black men are leading the march away from the Democrats. And if you keep this up, you're going to get the women to leave the party too. Because the one thing that does kind of cut across gender lines is the immigration issue. You know, women have their own immigration battles. As much as black women talk about white women in terms of, you know, dating and they stealing our men and all of that stuff, I keep telling y'all, white women are not the problem.
When I die, I'ma go to Snow Bunny Heaven. Snow Bunny Heaven.
You have not seen competition until Maria wants a Tyrone. I'm just trying. Listen, Keisha, when Maria wants your man, you might as well go buy a gun. You might as well just go and be ready for the 187, because I don't know how you win that fight. I don't know. And so there are a lot of girls, you know, women hate each other. You know, let's be honest, women hate each other. And so just for a lot of different reasons, even outside of direct sexual romantic competition, there is an issue with the Democrats and the black vote as it regards Black America. I mean, there is an issue with the Democrats and the black vote as it regards the immigration issue. Black people and immigration are enemies. We are the first people to bear the brunt of the Democrats' love for the mass immigration. You guys remember this?
More money for you. You working. No more money for you. Bye-bye. Go back across the door.
The Democrats have set black people up for mortal combat with a hostile invading group, right? The ethnicity really doesn't matter. If it was Indians, Mexicans, doesn't matter if there was Canadians. You are setting black people up. Your political desires to alter the voting landscape you are setting black people up for ethnic conflict. You are marching us down the path of bloodshed because you want to see the numbers on the graph go up. But real people on the ground are colliding with one another, and it's not going to be pretty. It won't be fun.
More money for you. You working. No more money for you. Bye-bye. Go back across the door. No more money for you. It's lazy. You lazy. No more money for you. Take your ass. More money for you.
That was a strong, independent black queen facing off against a hostile male invader. Because that is also the reality that the Democrats have created for Black America. Through your policies and your social pressures, you have created an environment where there are millions of black women who are effectively alone in the world. And now they have to face hostile invasion from an aggressive male group. Because you love the black women so much, right? The Democrats got a problem on their hands, man. I smell a revolt coming. I smell a black revolt approaching the Democrat Party really soon. Because I've been telling you this, I've been pointing this out for months now, and no one quite seems to understand the gravity of this type of problem. I can't think of any black Democrat elected official who is against the immigration issue. What is the point of a black Democrat if they all support Latinos? The very idea, the very concept, the whole reason why we were told we needed black faces in high places is because you niggas would look out for us, and every goddamn one of you black motherfuckers is working for Latinos.
Yesterday, it seems that ICE was in Los Angeles in a number of neighborhoods, but they arrested David Huerta, who is the head of one of our SCIU unions. We don't know why. We don't know where he is. We don't know why they're calling in the National Guard. There's no danger. There's no violence. The President of the United States hates Los Angeles because we're a sanctuary city. He doesn't like us.
And you're somehow a race traitor if your girlfriend is white, if your girlfriend is Latina, if your girlfriend is Asian. You're somehow a race traitor. But the people whose damn job it is to represent the alleged race on a local, on a national, on a public level, they are at every turn working for an outside race. Who is the race traitor here? Oh, but you can't go mess with a white girl. You are working for an entire nation of other ethnicities, the whole Mexican nation right now. They have a whole country to back them up. Why do they need your black ass to help?
We're targeted. And so I believe that he really wants to have martial law to show that he's in charge. He's the president of the United States, and all of the city of LA is targeted.
And what do you think the reaction might be from the community at seeing the National Guard here?
Well, the community really is concerned about the National Guard and whether or not they're going to use the weapons that we see them armed with right here today. Why do they have all these weapons?
They need more weapons. They need a lot of weapons. You know, one thing I don't think the Democrats are prepared for is the animus, the sheer animus, the schadenfreude that Black people are going through right now, watching the Latinos finally get their comeuppance, right? That's really how it feels. And I'm explaining why there's so much schadenfreude and bitterness from the Black community watching Latinos deal with the government now. It's y'all's turn now.
Who are they going to shoot? And why would they shoot anybody? Even if someone was protesting against ICE, being able to try and deport them. Why would they shoot anybody? There's no need to have weapons here.
And do you think that this is something that could be handled by local Los Angeles police, or do you think that things had gotten out of hand at all in the last couple of days?
Well, the thing about it is everybody's got to be involved. The citizens have got to understand we live in a democracy, and we have a president who wants to be a dictator. And so the citizens have got to be aware that all of the elected officials got to be involved in this. We got to make sure that something disastrous does not happen, that there is no martial law, that there's no civil war going on here. We're going to try and convince the president by the action of the people protesting that they should not be treating people like this.
Do you think that people should continue to protest?
Oh, absolutely. They've got to say, we're human beings. Don't treat us like this. Many of these are trying to get our citizenship. We work.
Just don't care anymore. Just don't care anymore. I'd rather all that energy be spent on Black America. This is like watching your wife campaign for the guy that lives down the block. Like, sweetie, why do you care so much about that dude? It's making me uncomfortable.
Every day, we're paying taxes. Please don't kill us. Don't shoot us. Don't treat us like this. I think the people have to be involved.
What do you think the response should be from other elected representatives, other Democrats, for example?
We have plenty of elected officials who were on the street yesterday. We know that they were in some of our cities, and elected officials are trying to send a message to the Trump administration that Los Angeles should not be targeted. No city in this country should be targeted to deport in the way that he wants to show that he's in charge.
Every single one of your Black elected officials is working for what is effectively a hostile race at this point.
Every single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach and are trying to hide their identities from the American people will be unsuccessful in doing that. This is America. This is not the Soviet Union. We're not behind the Iron Curtain. This is not the 1930s. And every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified. That in fact is the law. And we're going to make sure that the American people have the transparency necessary to hold people accountable when they're folks who cross the line here in America. That's what's going to happen. And as I mentioned earlier, when I spoke to Congressman Nadler about this, our first priorities are always going to be making sure the person who was on the front line is in the best possible place to move forward. That's the case with LaMonica MacGyver, and it is also the case with Congressman Nadler's brave, young, patriotic staffer. And we've got to address those issues first. That's the human thing to do, while simultaneously, of course, preparing to deal with the broader policy implications, which, as I mentioned, are underway. Thanks. Go back to.
What's the point of voting for black people at this point? If you're just gonna give away all of my black solidarity to non-black people, what's the point of voting for black people? I might as well vote for that white man. I might as well vote for the patriotic, patriarchal, red meat eating, America loving, allegedly white supremacist, racist white man. I might as well vote for him, because voting for black folk ain't gonna get black folk what we need.
You teach me all my life that the white man is the devil? You teach me my whole life that the white man is the devil. Now you tell me it's all right for him to come among us.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
I have a big issue in African spirituality where you have Latinos, and of course you got your Afro-Latinos, you got your European Latinos, and you got your indigenous Latinos, right? Your Taino or so forth. One of the concerns I have within the system of traditional African spirituality, particularly Ifa, my system, is why are we initiating Latinos who don't identify as African? Why are we training them in our mystery system? Whoa. And you know they don't even like us. Whoa. Why are Babalawos from Africa going to Puerto Rico and Cuba and the Dominican Republic, teaching them all the secrets of our system, and you know all they want to do is take it and colonize it and make black people beg them to learn about their own spirituality. What? It's not all of them, because I know Afro-Latinos who are proud to be African. I know Puerto Ricans who are proud to be African. I know Cubans and Dominicans who are proud to be African. But if we're going to be honest, the ones in these states, more likely than not, they do not identify with any drop of their African blood, but they love to become priests and priestesses of African religion. Ooh. It is a contradiction, and I'm not blaming them, I'm blaming us.
Shout out to Big Time with that $5 super chat. He says, when I spoke to Nadler, so the head goblin himself. Yeah, we got a lot of goblins in office, man. We got to do something about all these goblins in office. Shout out to the Midwest Request with a $2 super chat. He says, the race to griff bait and switch is rage inducing. Little bit that bait and switch is hard, man. Black folk are kind of feeling the pain of the bait and switch lately.
Make it stop. Make the hurt stop, please. Like,
and like I said, this immigration thing is only gonna really exacerbate the Democrats' problem with Black America. I don't think you really understand the level of emotion that you're running up against when it comes to Black people and immigration. That later on the edit, because I felt the copyright lords lingering over this stream all of a sudden, but we're going to fix that later. We're going to clean that up later. We're going to edit that song out. I know the copyright lords are all on me right now, but, you know, had to be done. I had to do it. I had to do it. I had to make the point. I need you guys to understand when black folk are firing up the meme cannons right now. Just think about that. Black people engaging in meme warfare. The memetics are negrotic.
There's the American dream and the California dream. There's no Alabama dream. Eat your heart out, Texas, Tennessee, and Florida. This is California. The world looks to us to see that it's possible to live, advance, and prosper together across every conceivable difference. It's what makes this state great, that we don't tolerate that diversity as we once had, but we truly can look today and talk in terms of how we celebrate that diversity. And there's the American dream.
Dear Black people, please stay the fuck at home in California. Do not go out into those streets. Please, I beg you, do not go out into those streets. This motherfucker in the White House have deployed the National Guard to California. Everybody agrees that he was only using ICE for provocation so he can get his way. Please stay safe. This is an emergency. Your life depends upon it. You know that Trump doesn't care for anybody. You know that he's been waiting for this moment to declare martial law, but he cannot do it yet. Just stay the fuck home, whatever you do. This is not about cowardice. This is not about running away. This is about safety, and this is about your future, about our future. Democracy needs to survive this. Stay home.
Where does the Trump administration stand legally here? Because Trump has mobilized the National Guard without a request from the state's governor. And that is the first time that's happened since 1965. There is concern over violating the Posse Comitatus Act. So does the president have the authority to do what he's doing?
Yes, Alex, the president does have the power to send the military to call up the National Guard in a case of civil unrest, as long as they're not engaging in traditional law enforcement duties. As you mentioned, the Posse Comitatus Act forbids the military from working as a police department, but they can serve in a support role if they are there to observe, if they are there as a show of force, if they are there in case the president does need to invoke the insurrection Protection Act. If things get out of hand, they are on the ground and ready. But just because you can do something legally doesn't always mean you should do something legally. That's something I certainly learned as a federal prosecutor. And when you've got a governor and a mayor saying, please stay out, you're only going to escalate the tensions here in our community. You can't help but wonder if that is not part of this show of force and effort to raise this issue in the public's eye. And so I worry that they may end up doing more harm than good.
Yeah, that it's part of the calculus. Barbara, let me ask you about the reports of lawyers not being allowed inside the detention facilities to see their clients. Is that illegal?
Well, they can't be withheld without legal counsel forever. But if, it's a Sunday afternoon and they say this is not the right time, we don't have the personnel here, you don't have a right to see your lawyer on a 24/7 basis. Also, they haven't been charged with a crime. And so it isn't that things are occurring in violation of their right to counsel. But if they are to have immigration proceedings, they do have a right to a lawyer there. And so I think it's a matter of when, not if, they get a chance to see these lawyers.
Okay. Shaniqua, your reaction to what we're seeing, because Border Czar Tom Homan.
Yes, you heard that right.
Okay. Shaniqua, your reaction to what we're seeing.
Get a chance to see these lawyers.
Okay. Shaniqua, your reaction to what we're seeing, because Border Czar Tom Homan said he's afraid someone could lose their life due to the unrest in Los Angeles, whether an officer or a protester. But does bringing in federal law enforcement just escalate the situation?
Y'all laughing. Shaniqua made it. Shaniqua finally made it. Y'all laughing. I don't know why y'all laughing at Shaniqua and all of her success and her hard work.
We are absolutely winning right now. Absolutely. We have done more than change the conversation. We changed the balance of power in the federal government.
Be proud of yourself, Shaniqua. You finally made it.
Protester lose their life due to the unrest in Los Angeles, whether an officer or a protester. But does bringing in federal law enforcement just escalate the situation?
Yeah, absolutely. And, something that I find really interesting about all of this is Republicans talk a lot about states' rights, I guess, except when they don't run the states. I mean, they have really defied the wishes of the governor there. And I think all they're looking for is a scene. They are going into LA.
You really want to make a states' rights argument now? Man, they always got to drag some black folk up to make that type of argument.
Making it
This is just like slavery.
Really tense. They want the protesters to react to them so that they can justify whatever reaction they have, no matter how over the top it is. I mean, we've seen this before when in Washington, D.C. in 2020, when protesters were simply trying to bring attention to George Floyd's death. And, Donald Trump sent the National Guard out. And so he's trying to get a reaction out of them. But I think the thing that may backfire on him is that he's bringing more attention. More people are probably tuning into the news right now, and they're going to start to wonder what is going on. They're going to start to hear more that there are people who are being arrested, people who are being deported without any due process, and start to pay attention to what he's doing. And this is going to backfire on him. But I just hope it's in enough time that, he can be stopped.
Yeah.
Notice they're only showing camera images of the actual peaceful things, right? They don't want to show you the reasons why they're bringing in the National Guard. They don't want to actually show you the reasons why they actually have the Marines at Camp Pendleton on standby just in case we got to hit somebody in the face with an M16 round. They don't want to show you one of those things. No. Let's just show all the people hanging out, waiting in front of the taco truck.
Let me just tell viewers what we're seeing to the left of your screen there, guys. This is a chopper view of Mariachi Plaza. That is in East Los Angeles, specifically Boyle Heights. It's about a 30-minute walk or so, maybe a little further, depending on the streets.
Boyle Heights. That name sounds familiar. Boyle Heights, you say? Why does the name Boyle Heights sound familiar? Oh, right. That's why Boyle Heights sound familiar. Gang members admit to firebombing black families in Boyle Heights housing development. I knew there was something about that name. Boyle Heights. All these Latinos in Boyle Heights. There's something about it just stuck out in my brain. Like, what's going on with the Latinos in Boyle Heights? Oh yeah, they firebombed all the single moms out of the neighborhood, all the blacks, all the Shaniquas. Yeah. Apparently, if you use fire, you can get the Shaniquas out of your neighborhood. Who knew? Who knew the solution to Shaniqua and her children was just random explosions, firebombs and whatnot? You know, pour some gasoline on it. Yeah. Gang members admit to firebombing black families in Boyle Heights housing development. Members of a Latino street gang have admitted to carrying out a racially motivated firebombing attack on black families in a Los Angeles housing project. Prosecutors announced Thursday 3 men belonging to the Big Hazard gang will plead guilty to federal hate crimes stemming from the 2014 attack. That was just 2014. That was 10 years ago. According to written plea agreements, in exchange for the confessions, prosecutors for the U.S. Attorney Nicola T. Hanna agreed to seek some leniency for the men when they are sentenced. Damn. You can firebomb some Keishas and get leniency? That's wild. USA. That's crazy. You can firebomb Keisha and get leniency. That's wild. Agreed to seek leniency for the men when they are sentenced. Each faces more than 30 years in federal prison. The nighttime attack on Mother's Day. Oh my, they firebombed Keisha's on Mother's Day. Wow. They firebombed Keisha's on Mother's Day, and they want the black community to get out there and vote and protest with them now, too.
Fuck you. War.
You know, I think that white guy is on to something. I think that white guy actually had a great point. I mean, it was kind of subtle. You had to maybe kind of think about it just for a minute, but that white guy had a brilliant point. Let me listen to it again. I think he was really, really dropping bars.
Fuck you. War.
Firebomb Shaniqua on Mother's Day. Oh my God. All right, the nighttime attack on Mother's Day 4 years ago laid bare long-standing racial animosity Latino gangs have stoked in the Ramona Gardens housing development and elsewhere. The Big Hazard gang claimed the Boyle Heights housing project as its territory, and the men set out to terrorize black families into fleeing their apartments, according to a statement released by Hanna. You know, that's funny. Imagine you were one of those in one of those Trenda Aragua apartments in Colorado. Remember when an apartment building or two got taken over in Colorado by a Venezuelan gang? Imagine being a black person, a black woman with your little kids alone in your apartment building, and then Trenda Aragua owns the building the next day. Oh my God. Can you imagine what people are going through? So anyway, they were in Boyle Heights, apparently.
Mariachi Plaza, that is in East Los Angeles.
Enough time that, he can be stopped.
Yeah. Let me just tell viewers what we're seeing to the left of your screen there, guys. This is a chopper view of Mariachi Plaza. That is in East Los Angeles, specifically Boyle Heights. It's about a 30-minute walk or so, maybe a little further, depending on the streets that you're going to take to downtown, to where we had seen our colleague David Noriega amid a large presence of law enforcement there. So, Carlos, as we keep watching the scene here, Homan also said he has not ruled out asking the DOJ to prosecute Mayor Bass and Governor Newsom if they cross a line. That line has not been clearly defined yet. But how unprecedented would that be? And do you think there's any dereliction of duty happening by the California officials here?
Yeah, we got to lock all these people up. the mayor, the governor, the DA, the assistant DA. I think maybe a couple of police chiefs. I guess there must be like the LA police commissioner or something like that. All of them got to go. They all got to go. They all should lawyer up right now, just in case.
Well, look, I think the administration itself and Mr. Holman have admitted that they have not violated any laws or been negligent in any way. That threat really isn't helpful in thinking about our institutions, the trust and confidence in our government. President Trump himself is someone who has complained against weaponizing the government to attack political adversaries. So it really wouldn't make sense. But what is clear here, Alex, is that this administration understands that any day where immigration is leading the news is a day where they are winning. This is an issue that the two parties had fought to a draw for a couple decades. During the Biden administration, Democrats lost the public's trust on this issue. President Trump knows it. And
Los Angeles right now is what it looks like when Democrats win. And this is why the issue is really so potent for the Republicans and the right wing and whatnot. It just lays bare a visceral problem. Like, it's very difficult to intellectualize your way out of these types of images where not just police cars are on fire, but random vehicles on fire. On top of the fact that you're actively fighting the police right now, it's hard to really logic your way to left-wing solidarity from a position like this. And people just have a gut reaction to things like this. Like, no, I want them all to stop. I don't care if they die.
that is why he tries to raise the volume every time there's an immigration controversy in our country, because they believe, and the polls indicate, that it's to their advantage.
Well, Shaniqua, let me pick up on this because a new CBS poll conducted before the events of this weekend in L.A. found overall approval for Trump's deportation policy stands at about 54%. 42% say it is making people more safe. 30% say less safe. Do Democrats have to step carefully here? And will these numbers change if the federal response becomes more extreme?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to change. I mean, Democrats have been, from the beginning of this, have started off pretty.
The Democrats, as well as the media, have lost control of the narrative, especially the racial coalition narrative. Shout out to SKC. He says, the communitized dilemma: allow illegals to erase them via violence and strong arming, or assimilate into America and have a country. Yeah. Those are your options. All right. Those are your options. Listen. Black folk, this is going to be a hard one, but you're going to have to learn the words to this song, and you're going to have to stand shoulder to shoulder with a couple of white boys and sing this, just so everything goes by smoothly for us. Right?
My God will have our home again. My God will have our home. By blood or sweat, we'll get there yet. My God will have our home.
Look, you want to put a little bass line on it, put a beat to it or whatever you got to do. You could nigga it up all you want, but you better learn the words to that song. I'm telling you, lines will be drawn. Choices will be made. What kind of American are you? Yeah, we're going to have these moments, people.
Black people in LA, don't get in that mess. Please do not get in that mess what's going on in LA. Y'all stay in the house. Y'all get what y'all need to get and sit back and watch, okay? This is their turn. This is their turn to get their butt kicked out there. It's their turn to get deported. It's their turn to go to jail. It's their turn to get gaffled up.
Yeah, that's right. Let that white man have his way with them. It is not our turn. We did this in the 60s. Low key up until the 70s, we was fighting that white man. And you know what? We did all right. We did all right. We fought the white man and we did pretty damn well for ourselves. And I didn't see a whole lot of Latinos shooting with us at the gym. The Latinos seem to come up afterwards, later on. You know, after we got jobs, they wound up with a job or two. And I'm like, wait. Hold on. You know, all right, whatever. It's cool. Now, all of a sudden, they got jobs and we ain't got no jobs. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe that wasn't cool. That's all I'm saying. You're going to have to learn the words to these songs, man. This is the new anthem.
Oh, my God, we'll have our home again. My God, we'll have our home. By blood or sweat, we'll get there yet. By God, we'll have our home.
Black people in LA, don't get in that mess. Please do not get in that mess what's going on in LA. Y'all stay in the house. Y'all get what y'all need to get and sit back and watch, okay? This is their turn. This is their turn to get their butt kicked out there. It's their turn to get deported. It's their turn to go to jail. It's their turn to get gaffled up. Don't let them Democrat people out there trick y'all into going out there and protecting people that will not protect you. Okay? I know they're going to get out there, hey, black people, we need your help. You know, this is a civil rights issue, even though we came over here legally, but still, this is a civil rights issue. No, it's not y'all issue. Anytime that we go through stuff on this country, them same people will say, pick yourself up by the bootstrap. Why y'all always blaming the white man? Why y'all always talking about racism all the time? Why y'all are not oppressed? I crossed the border in the Rio Grande River with nothing in my pocket, and look at me. Now, let them figure that out. Let them figure it out, man. We ain't got to put the cape on these people at all. Don't say these folks. Don't get your ass out there and get gaffled up by them people. The National Guard is not looking for you. They looking for them other folks, okay? So this is what y'all do, LA. Y'all sit back, chill, sit in your house, have a little barbecue, do your little, your little.
Freeman's Journal in the chat, he says, it is kind of ironic these field Negroes figure it out after Latinos double the black population. You know, I've been watching what I've called the per capita wars on Twitter. The per capita wars have been raging for years at this point. At least, you know, the years that I've been on Twitter, there's been a per capita skirmish every so often. And what I've come to understand watching the per capita wars rage on Twitter, black people are really not so great with numbers and projections. Yeah, that's really the one takeaway I have from the per capita wars on Twitter. When it comes to numbers and projections, black folk not so great. So this is a problem that you could have seen coming. And to be fair, this is the kind of problem that right-wingers that got kicked out of polite society have seen coming. The Enoch Powells. Enoch Powell years ago made a famous speech. He was a British politician around just after World War II, maybe. And I think the phrase that went popular was called rivers of blood. And what Enoch Powell was describing was the post-war immigration policies of Britain. And now, mind you, this is post-war Britain. So in the 40s, you got a white guy who was just doing the numbers like, you know, if you keep doing this, you're going to have a hostile brown population over here. And look at what Europe is going through now. Because apparently, you know, numbers and projections, you know, that not everybody gets it, man. Not everybody gets numbers and projections. And it was a thing you could have seen coming if you just paid attention. And shout out to SKC, Big Brother Coon with the $2 super chat. He says, Dems running that pre-Civil War 3/5 play hard. You know, Freeman's Journal, we were joking about the 3/5 thing on Twitter earlier. Freeman's Journal, I think he put a post out saying that maybe Democrats are going to have to come up with some kind of 3/5 proposal for all the illegals in America now. And I'm like, oh wow, it'll only work. I'd only support it if you count illegals as 3/5 of a nigga. SKC, that's the only way I would support the Democrats' 3/5 proposal. You have to count every illegal. Each illegal can be counted as 3/5 of a nigga. That's the only way to make it balance out. You see, because numbers are hard. Numbers are hard. You have to really deal with the numerical reality. And we can only have parity with the hostile immigrant population if we count each one of them as 3/5 of a nigga. That's my proposal.
Now looking for you, they looking for them other folks, okay? So this is what y'all do, LA. Y'all sit back, chill, sit in your house, have a little barbecue, do your little, your little thing y'all be doing out there on the West Coast. You know what I mean? Please do not let them people, them politicians, boost y'all head up and try to make it seem like their fight is our fight. Their fight is not our fight. They never fought for us. We should not fight for them. Tell them hallelujah. Tell them hallelujah to help them out. I love y'all, LA. Y'all be safe out there.
Yo, what is LULAC? Somebody from the West Coast help me out here, man. I need to know, what is LULAC? He said, tell them holla at LULAC. That little bit of black slang right there kind of threw me, man. Like, what is LULAC? Boy said, tell them holla at LULAC, and I'm so confused. West Coast black people have a whole world that I just do not understand sometimes.
We don't agree with the term illegal. We're undocumented. We've been here for thousands of years before you guys showed up, screw up everything.
Nah, you still 3/5 of a nigga, bro. And you short too, you mad little. Look at you, literally are 3/5 of a nigga, bro. Look how tiny you are. Nigga like a lawn jockey. Jesus Christ. 3/5 of a little motherfucker.
We don't agree with the term illegal. We're undocumented. We've been here for thousands of years before you guys showed up, screw up everything. We think we should organize together with the U.S. working class and fight together and create a better system. We're anti-capitalist. We think socialism does work, real socialism, not Venezuela, not Cuba, not any of that crap that they try to sell us as socialism. And we believe it would be a more humane system that will take.
Real Mexican socialism has never been tried before, okay? We're going down this path now. Real Mexican socialism has never been tried before. Shout out to the little tiny Mexican socialists, man. Where do they find these guys at? Drew Beats with the $4.99. He says, yeah, I'm confused. Use some sleeping gas and buses. We can fit them all in 2 buses. 3 small buses, like for real, like a couple of those double-decker mega buses, bro. You know how many illegals you can pack into a mega bus, man? Oh, we can get this thing cleared up in a couple of days, man. Just bring the whole mega bus company to the West Coast, man. I heard they went out of business recently. You guys got a lot of stock. You guys got a lot of company product you need to get rid of. You need to liquidate some stuff. Bring all the megabus fleet to the West Coast, man. We're going to militarize the megabus company.
Take care of most of all people's necessities.
Is there a country we can look to kind of model the socialism idea?
The only model would be Soviet Union the first 4 years. After that, it became a mess. Sadly, there was a bureaucrat leadership that grew out of that. But it has to do mainly with the attacks of the U.S. and all big. All
right, Red Illusion has an interesting idea, but I want to build on Red Illusion's idea because I'm a dreamer. Every now and then, after a couple of beers, I consider myself a visionary, even. But pickup trucks with catapults. Can you think you can mount like a trebuchet on a pickup truck? There has to be a way to mount maybe like a slingshot. Yeah, a slingshot. because you could use like the pickup truck as a bed to put like the fork post for the slingshots, and then you just drive some kind of fork in the ground in the front of the pickup truck. Yeah, we could use pickup trucks with catapults. Yeah. Listen, Red Illusion, I think we're on to something. You know, the American people, we are an inventive people, man. You get guys in their garages with their trucks together and their little welding equipment. You never know what you can think of, man. Jay with the $2 super chat says the sleeping gas would work. The problem with the sleeping gas is you need people for the pickup. We're gonna have to bring in like some bulldozers, some forklifts or something like that. The sleeping gas would work, but you know, there's logistical problems you got to work out. That's why I said maybe the pickup trucks with a catapult, a trebuchet, a slingshot, something like that. You know, we can speed up the self-deportations a bit. Midwest Request with the foul ball says, so we get black blood and soil and white collectivism movements in 2025. What a time to be alive. Bro, I've been telling you that the blood and soil argument belongs to black people in America. One thing that slavery gave black people in America is a blood and soil right, all right? Because one thing we did is we bled in this country. We picked cotton and we bled, all right? And that was just the first 100 years. We didn't even get into the wars for glory and you know, America and all that. We didn't even start fighting Germans or nothing yet. The first 100 years was just cotton and blood. It was blood and cotton. It was blood on every hair, every little bushel of cotton that got delivered. There was a tiny drop of black blood in it. And all I'm saying is I'm not stepping aside for no tortas.
Powers against that system that was working. In the few years that it lasted, it showed the world that it could do much better than capitalism.
So since you finished though, let me ask you a question. What you guys say about them when he's pulling all these people into our community though? What y'all got to say about that situation though?
Just the media was just reporting what's
I know y'all didn't choose to report when they flooding all these illegals to our community though.
Right
Boyle Heights is a racist area though too. You know there was five bomb black people in East LA and Boyle Heights though. You know that though? Your community was doing racial targeting of black people all throughout LA though. You didn't see KTLA raising the hell, raising noise about that though. What was KTLA raising hell about that? Same thing about the LA City Council. You heard about that story? But Nori Martinez said all the racial things towards black people though behind closed doors though.
That's the whole news that she's no longer there.
But yeah, they didn't do anything about that though. They didn't raise hell about that though. They didn't get Nori Martinez about it though. Same thing, Kevin DeLeon. He was still in office though. I didn't see y'all report. What about?
DeLeon's already out.
What about reparations though? I don't see y'all mentioning KTLA. We mentioned about reparations though. What's going on?
Yeah. It's a conversation won't even happen.
So why should the black community be out here supporting these people though? Tell me why. You heard about the LULAC organization?
Oh, somebody finally about to put me on with the LULAC organization. But that was an awkward pause, though. That was really an awkward pause, man. You'd have thought he was asking that question to a Klansman.
What's going on?
It's a conversation won't even happen.
So why should the black community be out here supporting these people, though? Tell me why. You heard about the LULAC organization? The LULAC Felix Tanarina telling black people though that the Negro problem ain't his problem though, and he had businesses, restaurants in Texas telling black people that we can't go to these restaurants in Texas though during the Jim Crow era. You heard about that story?
No, I haven't.
Did you know that the LULAC organization went to the Supreme Court to classify Hispanics as white in the 1930s? Are you aware of that situation?
No, I don't.
That's who got y'all white card. Oh, we just learned some deep game right here. LULAC is how Latinos got the white card. Oh, stop. You see, this show is entertaining and it's educational. It's infotainment.
Telling black people that we can't go to these restaurants in Texas though during the Jim Crow era. You heard about that story?
No, I haven't.
Did you know that the LULAC organization went to Supreme Court that classified Hispanics as white in the 1930s? Are you aware of that situation?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you should look up about the LULAC organization, know what it's about.
Hey, Bandit, we've already heard rumblings of Mexican reparations, so it's in the ether already. I've seen a couple of videos, at least one video where with some Spanish guy, some Mexican dude talking about Latino reparations or whatever. They want their land back and all that. We're already here, bro. We are already here.
That's all I gotta say.
The Democrats are gonna have a problem. I'm trying to tell you. Democrats have been walking black folk down a blind alley for a long time, and there just isn't much more room to keep walking.
The elected officials refuse to address the problem. The black elected officials refuse to address the problem. My own congressman refuses to address the problem. And I think the problem is black folks see all minorities as allies. And this is not the case. These people are not here for our common good. They're here for their own good. Where I don't have any ill will towards anybody, I also want to look out for my race. I'm a black American. I've never used a hyphen. But I will refuse to turn my back on my race and see what's going on in South Central to my people and let these people come in here and just take over. I'm not going to sit back and watch it. And I think it's a terrible thing, a horrendous thing for anybody to see this going on and say, well, he's a minority like me, so I won't speak up. I don't care where he comes from. The key to this whole thing is stop the denial, stop the alliances of, in other words, he's a minority like me, so I can't speak up against him. If this was white folks committing these lynchings to us in South Central, what's going on, there would be an outrage in this country. We have had firebombs thrown through windows. We have had people's cars burned in the driveway because they happened to move into the wrong communities. We had a lady who moved to East LA, came to the state from the South, not knowing what East LA was. It was an all-Hispanic community. She wasn't there one day. We had another man who was burned out of his house in Torrance last year. We had 5 murders in Hawaiian Gardens just because the people were black. This would not be tolerated if this was white on black crime. But the fact that these people come here, and it's the numbers, sir, it's the numbers. They come here in the numbers, they build up the Hispanic community, and they get this sense of power against us. And there are race riots in the schools every day in Los Angeles. It never makes the media. The black kids are being run out of the schools every day and told to go back to Africa. It never makes the media. We are having people who are being discriminated against on every avenue of society, economic, schools.
All right, SKC. See, this is why you the big brother coon, because I ain't even think of it. This is harsh, bro. This is really, really harsh. This is actually kind of messed up. SKC says, too late. You already lost. Go to Atlanta and be gay. Man.
Emotional damage. You want some therapy?
Even in our prisons now, they have drawn lines, and our prisoners in California are being beat and harassed and raped by Hispanic gang members who recently arrived here because of...
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, stop. No, wait a minute. Pineapples. I wasn't ready. No, he said, he really said that though? Like, no.
In our prisons now, they have drawn lines, and our prisoners in California are being beat and harassed and raped by Hispanic gang members who...
Pineapples, no, I wasn't ready. Oh, pineapples, no. I can't, oh man, damn son, that's crazy. That's terrible. Oh man. Wow, bro. Damn. I didn't even know that was like that for you. Like, damn, son, that's wicked. That's wicked. I ain't even know that was the thing. Oh no. Oh no.
Fuck you. War.
Oh my God, we'll have our home again. My God, we'll have our home. By blood or sweat, we'll get there yet. By God, we'll have our home.
Hey, black folk, you think we'll look fly with tiki torches? Because they tried to make the white boys look crazy. Do you think black people can make tiki torches look cool though? Because like, you know, you get a couple of niggas with some tiki torches and some Jordans on, some fresh white tees. Sound like a vibe. Like we might have to start rocking tiki torches, bro. This is wild.
Who recently arrived here because of the numbers. My answer to you, sir, would be we don't need any new laws. Enforce the ones we got.
Bruh, I ain't even know it was that bad. Damn, son. Damn, son. I didn't even know it was like that, man. I feel bad for y'all niggas now, man. I feel bad for y'all niggas, man. Y'all like casualties of war. Y'all over there like casualties of war, bro. This is tragedy going on here.
This is a message for the black community and those who support it. We are still resting, but there is a tide shift. For one, 47 is very confused as to why we are not taking to the streets. He doesn't understand it. He just knew that using tax dollars to tear up the Black Lives Matter street, that was going to do it. Tearing down the buildings with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, he was sure that floating the rumor of pardoning Derek Chauvin would do it. His executive order to bring back segregation, all of his attacks on DEI, even though black people benefit the least from DEI, he was sure that would do it. It hasn't. And one thing that they didn't plan on at the end of the election, something that happened on November 5th, 2024, is when we all went into the voting booth and voted, and we were the only demographic that was united and held strong for democracy in this country. The 92% of black women who knew the assignment and knew what the stakes were, because we always do. The 78% of black men who held it down because they knew what would happen if they didn't. The black community.
You know what's interesting about this moment in particular, especially with the black community like she's talking about right now? Right after the election, I remember there was a wave of videos. It went viral on Twitter. You know, it was trending on Twitter. Black women are tired. Black women are taking a rest. Black women are taking a break. We're not going to the next protest. You guys remember that? Put a 1 in the chat if you remember that little era right after the election where all the black women are. I'm not marching. I'm not pro. I have twerked my last twerk. They said, you know what? It's over. We're just going to take a break. And now they're keeping their word. Ironic as it is, they're keeping their word. Black women are resting in their femininity. Isn't that weird? We get a lot of curveballs in 2025.
Community knew the assignment. We became on the same wavelength. When Target did their thing, we collectively made them an example. Walmart also losing money. Amazon also losing money. Now, granted, allies that support the black community, the LGBT community, women, they've all been a part of that too. But black people have collectively been on the same wavelength. But in Trump's desperation to get us out into the streets, he is becoming more and more dangerous with his executive orders. On April 28th of this year, he signed an executive order. The executive order is titled Strengthening and Unleashing America's Law Enforcement to Pursue Criminals and Protect Innocent Citizens. Now, we all know that Trump don't give a crap about innocent citizens, because if he did, he would care about due process. And he wouldn't try to get rid of habeas corpus, because that is how you know that a citizen is innocent or not. So what they want to do in this executive order is give cops more power and permission to profile, to brutalize people that they just think are guilty. That means us. He is trying to create another George Floyd, another situation that will get us into the streets. I say this so that we all can be cautious and we can all see and know what he is trying to do. This executive order further militarizes the police that were already militarized with tanks and riot gear, that apparently they do not need when people are protesting that are of a lighter shade, but they need it for us. This also further protects law enforcement officers who are accused of misconduct or police brutality. Protects them because we know that they need to make it home to their families, but you don't need to make it home to yours.
Shout out to Dirty Folk. Shout out to Dirty Folks for getting the joke immediately.
Good women are dead. Evil bitches, rise up!
They fear for their life, even though they're the ones holding the weapon and pointing it at your back. This executive order also does something that we have already seen. This executive order threatens state and local officials who discriminate by enacting diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. If state and local officials are being inclusive, advocating for diversity and equity, they can be charged with discrimination charges.
I don't know if you're catching the subtlety of what she's talking about right now. It's not even really about the policies at all that she's mentioning, but Trump has created what's basically a left-wing civil war by targeting different elements of the left wing's political apparatus. It's created an implosion and now the infighting. And so you have the different left-wing factions that should be supporting one another right now are not showing up for one another right now. You guys know it's Pride Month, right? I haven't seen a damn rainbow yet. It was raining for 2 days and I haven't seen a rainbow. All right. Even Mother Nature refuses to give up the rainbow right now. They're like, no, you've abused my generosity. No, Mother Nature is not even showing rainbows. Pride Month is quiet. All the brown and black coalition that's falling apart. Brown and black coalition is having hostilities at the moment. Black people are low-key laughing at brown people right now, like, ha ha, bye-bye. Nah. Hey. Goodbye. Like the Democrats' real core is just imploding right now, and there's nothing they can do. I have no remedy for this. Like, I don't see a way forward. You guys are going to have to hurt for a while.
Now, Trump's DOJ's Civil Rights Department, who have defended the civil rights of people for 70 years now, they are no longer defending the rights of Black and brown people, LGBT people, women, all of those people who are usually discriminated against. They are no longer going to be representing them. So if you have an issue of discrimination, the DOJ will no longer represent you because of discrimination. Make it make sense. They will now be focusing their attention on discrimination against white Christian people because they are the most discriminated group by far. Yeah. Now, I say all this to say there's a...
The other day, the Supreme Court put out a ruling, and I'm actually, this is the first time I really had a chance to bring it up in the flow of conversation because this deserves its own commentary by itself, right? The Supreme Court, and what was, I think, a unanimous or a near unanimous, I think it was a unanimous ruling. The Supreme Court the other day ruled that you can, in fact, discriminate against white people, meaning that you can be legally prosecuted for discriminating against white people. So low-key, the government has been acting from the position that like racism is privilege plus power, that stupid college thing that people talk about. The Supreme Court has effectively dismantled the entire privilege plus power argument. They said, no, it is perfectly understandable that racism against white people is a thing, and it's actually illegal as our laws and our Constitution are written currently. And so be on the lookout for white people to get their rights back. Yeah, the white man is getting his rights back. It's 2025 and the white man wants his goddamn rights back.
Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Yes.
Shout out to my man J000 with the $2 super chat for the no rainbow. Yeah, no rainbows, bro. No rainbow.
If you don't have a man, you ain't nothing.
Tide shifting. Even though Black people are resting, we are focusing in on our communities, our Black-owned businesses, our children, our education, all of that. Yes, we need to continue doing all of that. I have seen a shift in the boldness of these racist people. Neo-Yahtzee rallies and marches up there in Kansas City. YT women calling little autistic Black children the N-word, getting $750,000 for that. But then there have...
You know the funny thing about that alleged Black child that got called the N-word? And I'm glad that the moment is kind of past and we don't have to talk about it every day anymore. But I want you guys to notice something, right? That alleged Black child that got called the N-word, that child is effectively a ghost. Like, that motherfucker's not real. Seriously, think about it. Think about it. We know what the white lady looks like. They didn't track her down. They probably found her husband. They know what her baby looked like. Like, everybody can find the white lady, but who is this alleged Black child? Every other Black child that's been at the heart of some kind of racial controversy, we know who they are. That alleged Black child is not real. Until you produce a Black child who has N-word scars on his face, I'm saying that child is not real. He's not real. If he's not real, it basically never happened.
Have been videos of Black people letting those racist people know who think we are going back to the 1930s during the times that we were hanging in trees, that they were having picnics with us as the main course. Times where they could tell us which swimming pools to swim at, which water fountains to go to, where to sit on the bus. Alabama today is trying to resegregate its schools. Problem is...
See, you know, it's interesting. This whole thing is like a left wing. It's like different factions of the far left falling out with one another right now. Because, like, lady, this is not the fight. We are not trying to fight Alabama in 1945 battles, right? This is not the 60s. It's not the 50s, man. Did you hear what the dude said about guys? And bro, like, these are different battles. Did you hear what the last guy said is going on? I want to solve that problem. I don't want to go back in time and solve those old problems. We won that fight. That fight is over. We got rights. We got welfare. We got spinning rims. We won that fight. That fight is good. Like that everything is copacetic now.
Black people like me were born into freedom. It's going to be real hard to put that genie back in the box. So even though Black people are resting, we're not going back to 1930. We are a different breed. But I say, be cautious, because 47 has already started putting things in place specifically for us, because he wants us to protest. And when we protest, he will enact martial law. And he already has the orders in place to do that. We need to know the enemy that we are fighting. So what do? Stay out of the street. Do not protest, no matter what happens. What we will do is we will continue to organize and protest with our wallets, cheer on our allies who are out in the street, strengthen the Black community, and to be there for each other. We will continue to support Black-owned.
She said, y'all go out in the street and I'm going to clap. Woo! Woo, go Maria. It's your birthday. Go Maria. Juan, you so strong. Eat that tear gas, Juan. Tell them that you eat tear gas, Juan. Woo! I'm going to cheer from the sidelines. Matter of fact, I'm going to cheer at home. I'm going to tweet about you.
Business with our wallets and our presence. We will continue to be united as we were on the 5th of November 2024 when we tried to save this country. We will continue to do what we do best, thrive in our excellence, even during the hardest times. Love y'all. I don't usually say this, but share this video to somebody that you think needs to hear it. This is a message for the Black community and those who support it.
These are not the hard times, though. These are not the hard times. Black folk, we are not having hard time right now. Black folk, just stay home and just all you got to do is stay black and die. And you don't even have to die no time soon. So all you got to do is stay black.
This for all you Latino influencers that be on the lowest internet talking about Black people. Where you at, Black people? Why aren't you marching with us, Black people? Out on the National Mall, y'all. I see this Spanish chick, about 400 pounds, posing with her MAGA hat on in front of the president's banner, right? And Chloe, she was not making Good American. The photo shoot, she was not making a cut. Photo, she just posing. Click, click, click. How about y'all get your people in line? Stop worrying about Black people. Get your people in line. Okay? Because half of them voted for it. So stop worrying about Black people. Okay? Do your own work for once. Okay? And I just thought of one more thing. They always talk about Black people. Where you at, Black people? You don't hear them saying, white people, why aren't you marching with us? Asian people, why aren't you marching with us? Pacific Islander, why aren't you marching with us? Everybody think.
They already know not to ask white people. White people are the main ones who want them gone. It's Black folk that don't really know which line to stand on. I'm telling y'all which side to get on, man.
Black people owes them our labor. We already sacrificed for the Civil Rights Act that all of y'all benefited from, right? All you community of colors and women. So I just thought about that, just the audacity. Why don't y'all ask white people to help out? Why don't y'all say that? Why don't you say Muslims? It says, why aren't you marching with us? What this got to do with Black people? This for all you Latino influencers that be on the lowest internet talking about Black people. Where you at, Black people?
Black people, my African American Black people, we sitting our asses out on this. Don't y'all take your asses and protest anything for them Mexicans or them Latinos. They don't give a fuck about us. So we don't give a fuck about them. Black people, sit y'all asses down. Let Maria, Jesus, Jose, and all the Lopez's tend to their own shit.
She right. I forgot about the Lopez's. It's a lot of Lopez's, man. Y'all gonna be all right. Y'all deep. Y'all deep. Y'all need to unify, right? Y'all gotta come together as a people. It's a lot of y'all. Y'all gonna work this out, man. Y'all gonna be fine.
Repeat after me, Black people. Sit your black ass down. Fuck them Democrats or Demorats.
The Midwest Request with that $2 super chat says, I still remember the Black versus Palestinian crash out. I don't know if I did content on the crash out, but I remember those videos. There was a couple of girls. I think I did some content on that whole thing because there was like this one Palestinian chick on TikTok getting a little uppity. We are staying home, though. Black folks is not having it right now. Everybody is chilling. Black folk is finally, for once in our lifetimes, Black folk is minding black folk business. And it's beautiful.
They have not done nothing for the black community. Jasmine Crockett, sit your ass down and shut the fuck up. We sick of you. You don't represent us. Because we know you came from a silver spoon. Maxine Waters, take your ass to the nursing home. Hakeem Jeffries, sit your weak ass down. We're tired of your weak ass. You don't speak for us. Permy Perm, Al Sharpton, or Al Sharpton, you don't speak for us. I'm talking about the real working class African Americans. Sit y'all asses down. Black people, my African American black people.
It is such a shame what's happening in LA right now. But we got to stop the gaslighting of foundational black Americans. You know, I do not have a problem with people coming to America, immigrants coming to America, however they come. I understand that. I don't honestly see an illegal immigrant versus a immigrant who did it the correct way any different. I see a person who's trying to get away from persecution, trying to get away from violence in their own country, want to have a better life. However, I do understand that every presidency has laws against illegal people coming into the country and not adhering to the laws of the land too. I do understand that as well. So I understand the consequence, but the way in which Trump is handling this, because every single president has a duty to handle border control, whether you like it or not. So when people say, oh, well, Obama, you know, he actually, of course he did. And every president after Trump is going to handle border control because that's a part of our national security duties. It's every country is going to handle border control, whether you like it or not. However, my mouth is sealed. If I see something, my mouth is sealed. I ain't calling ICE. I ain't telling them which way you went. I ain't giving them no information. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm minding my business. But while I'm minding my business, please allow us to mind our business. It's becoming this discourse of black people saying we're still resting.
You know what? I had to listen for a minute, but I think I respect this position. It's kind of gangster. Look, I'm not going to snitch on you, but I'm not going to hide you from the police neither. I'm not putting no money on your books. I'm not showing up to none of your court dates, right? But because I didn't snitch on you, you can't be mad at me when they come get you. That's on you, nigga. It's your problem.
Becoming this discourse of black people saying we're still resting and other people feeling like that's a problem. First of all, I do see black people out there because, one, a black person can be a Hispanic, they could be a Mexican, they could be an immigrant from another country.
Right, y'all got your own black people. Latinos, you got your own black people. Why don't you have your own black people on the front lines doing the things for you? That's weird. Latinos have their own black people. Oh, you know what? Damn, I just remembered. Right, no. What was I thinking?
So black people out there don't mean it's foundational black Americans. And if it's foundational black Americans, you have the option to do what you want to do. And I respect that. Go out there, power to people. But also, too, if people are saying, you know what, we are the 89%, and we told y'all not to do this, you know, you got to respect, like, wow, our own people voted against us. All these, like, these.
American man says, nah, I'm snitching. They would do me in. I respect it, man. You got to be proactive, man. You got to be proactive about this. This is cutthroat. The game of competition has no real rules. Only winners and people who ain't here no more.
Latinos and Mexicans and Hispanics against for Trump and not against him. Y'all really shot yourselves in the foot, and to now gaslight foundational Black Americans to say, they're coming after you next. Stop lying. I'm sorry, but foundational Black Americans aren't going anywhere.
I just realized, I think she's half naked. That's why she's talking so well. That's why this is sounding right, because she half naked though. Dirty folks, man. You know what? I think we're getting a live run, a test of the theory in live action right now. I think she ain't got no panties on. She definitely ain't got no top on. She got on a bra and maybe some panties. I'm willing to think it's a bra and some panties, and she's under the blanket, because you know how girls do. They like to be all comfortable. I really think that's what's happening here. I just realized she's barely has any clothes on. This is why it sounded like logic.
And Trump is not seeking us, and he never will be. And I feel like when y'all say stuff like that, y'all really try to undermine foundational Black Americans in a way to try to shame us, to put us in the same position that y'all are in, when in fact we've been in that position. We have our ancestors and the people that we are descendants of have already been in that situation. And so when people say, well, we helped y'all, we did this for y'all, y'all should do this for us, we don't have to put ourselves in the front of rubber bullets anymore. And I think Black people are starting to realize, like, our safety is of high concern. And we are not going to do that in the year of 2025. Like, we already knew what Trump was about.
That is interesting. 313 says, the Mexicans that voted for Trump are legal, Keisha. What are you talking about? That's a great point, by the way. The Mexicans that voted for Trump, which allegedly would be the Mexicans that you really don't like, those are going to be the only ones left after we get rid of everybody. It's going to be you and the Magavatos.
About to do. And we tried so hard to make sure it didn't happen to other people or us, you know, as far as like targeting us. So I can actually empathize and sympathize, but we are not impacted by that. I know y'all want us to help, but let's not try to gaslight Black Americans to helping y'all by continuing this rhetoric with y'all going to be next if we're next. Y'all are immigrants. We are not. It's okay to say y'all want our help. It's okay to voice y'all opinions about us not being on the front lines with y'all. But let's not try to shame Black people into submission, because we're used to people.
Yeah, you know, this is what I kind of was talking about with the emergence of FBA and ADOS. It is Black people making an attempt at organic Black American patriotism, right? And with patriotism comes national chauvinism. And that's what she's expressing right now. Black American chauvinism. She's saying it in her own like words, but she's saying it like, listen. I don't really got no beef with y'all or nothing like that. Don't get it twisted. I'm from here and you want to come here, and that puts us on a different level. So I'm gonna need you to watch your tone when you be asking me for favors and stuff like that. Like, she's really trying to say it politely though.
Of 2025, like, we already knew what Trump was about to. And so when people say, well, we helped y'all, we did this for y'all, y'all should do this for us, we don't have to put ourselves in the front of rubber bullets anymore. And I think Black people are starting to realize, like, our safety is
goddamn technology.
Hispanic, they could be a Mexican, they could be an immigrant from another country. So Black people out there don't mean it's foundational Black Americans. And if it's foundational Black Americans, You have the option to do what you want to do. And I respect that. Go out there, power to the people. But also, too, if people are saying, you know what, we are the 92, 89%, and we told y'all not to do this, you know, you got to respect, like, wow, our own people voted against us. All these Latinos and Mexicans and Hispanics against for Trump and not against him. Y'all really shot yourselves in the foot. And to now gaslight foundational Black Americans to say they're coming after you next. Stop lying. I'm sorry, but foundational Black Americans aren't going anywhere. And Trump is not seeking us, and he never will be. And I feel like when y'all say stuff like that, y'all really try to undermine foundational Black Americans in a way to try to shame us, to put us in the same position that y'all are in, when in fact we've been in that position. We have our ancestors and the people that we are descendants of have already been in that situation. And so when people say, well, we helped y'all, we did this for y'all should do this for us, we don't have to put ourselves in the front of rubber bullets anymore. And I think Black people are starting to realize, like, our safety is of high concern. And we are not going to do that in the year of 2025. Like, we already knew what Trump was about to do. And we tried so hard to make sure it didn't happen to other people or us, you know, as far as like targeting us. So I can actually empathize and sympathize, but we are not impacted by that. I know y'all want us to help, but let's not try to gaslight Black Americans to helping y'all by continuing this rhetoric with y'all gonna be next if we're next. Y'all are immigrants. We are not. It's okay to say y'all want our help. It's okay to voice y'all opinions about us not being on the front lines with y'all. But let's not try to shame Black people into submission, because we're used to people doing that to us, and it's not gonna be in your favor to do that, to try to shame us into submission. That's the one thing we will not allow. And I feel like it's enough out there. Y'all see Black people out there. So when y'all get on this app trying to gaslight us, y'all might just end up with nobody out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not do that. Let's not act like colorism and racism is not rampant in y'all countries and in y'all hearts when y'all come over here. I believe that that's true, that we should be united, but there's so many other ways that we can unite Black people. We can support, we can write.
See, and this is what I mean about, this is a very left on left, blue versus blue type of problem, because she's struggling to even maintain her own allyship under her left-wing framework, because they have the issues that you're fighting against. The very social issues that you want to fight against are very much a part of their culture. That automatically puts you at odds in a lot of ways. So you're going to have to come to grips with this idea that you are your own thing. And that thing is uniquely American.
Letters to Congress. We can, we can help on the backside of things by organizing, sharing videos, and getting the voices heard. But don't gaslight us to get out there and get hurt if we say that's not something that we want to do. And if we're still kind of a little salty about y'all voting for somebody who y'all really wanted this to happen. I feel like every group wanted this to happen, but they didn't think it was going to happen to their group, except for freaking foundational Black Americans. But here y'all are trying to gaslight us. So please stop it. I don't care about what we did for a very small, minute group of slaves. I hear y'all throwing that out there too. Stop. While y'all ahead. You're a foundational Black American. You ever heard somebody say stop while you ahead? You know.
Now you've been seeing raids going on across America. All across America, but in LA, it's popping. Shout out to my family out there, because this is a war. You don't come into any country and wave a foreign flag while you light things up. Everybody out there who's picking team migrant, team illegal, team treason, you're going to find out the hard way, because this is going to escalate further and further and further. And FBA's over here getting further and further the hell away from y'all. We denounce all of the open border Democrats. We denounce all the open border policies. We denounce all of the foreign flag waving. We denounce all the...
You know what? Speaking of open borders and foreign flag waving, let me share something with you guys from, I guess this is Minnesota. They don't even have to speak English in Minnesota. They got a whole different type of black.
إلهام معها قضية إلهام معها قضية مينيسوتا معها قضية غير مريكان قضية إلهام وقضية صومالية.
I think I heard him say Minnesota, America, and Somalian. And he's running for office right now. He's going to be somebody.
إلهام معها قضية إلهام معها قضية مينيسوتا معها قضية غير مريكان قضية إلهام وقضية صومالية.
Yeah, shout out to American Man with the $2 super chat. All the wrong reasons these blacks are sitting out. Yeah, I'm not arguing with that. You are absolutely right. Definitely all the wrong reasons. But like I said, black people are new to American patriotism. We literally just started this thing up like yesterday. Black folk are baby patriots. They don't really have the ideological undergirding of real patriotism. They just kind of, it's a vibe at this point.
We denounce all of the open border Democrats. We denounce all the open border policies. We denounce all of the foreign flag waving. We denounce all the migrants, the hoppers, the skippers, the jumpers, and the tethers. We denounce anybody with an anti-American stance, because simply, we are Americans. Simple as that. We are foundational black Americans. People running around here and they saying things about Donald Trump, right? They say, that's not my president. Let me tell you, like my boy Ox always said, saying Donald Trump's not my president is like saying that's not my pilot and you're on a plane. You better hope that goddamn president and that damn pilot, okay, do a damn good job. So that's anti-American. And who's been really keeping the lights on for America the most? FBA. When you think about America right now, it's about foundational black Americans. So damn it, I'm an American. Stand on it. And the fact that
Now, I don't know if Black America actually responsible for keeping all the lights on, but, you know, like I said, black folk are new to this patriotism thing. You know, they're going to get some things wrong, but it's a work in progress. We're going to get there eventually. Freeman's Journal says it's going to be funny watching these FBA weirdos go full KKK. On a long enough timeline, everybody shaves their mustache down eventually. I truly believe that. You know, like there's that saying about a conservative is just a liberal who got mugged by reality. On a long enough timeline, no. Let me put it this way, because we're living under the liberal global world order, and my theory is that fascism is really a response to the globalism and the liberalism and all, the extremes of liberalism rather. And so under the liberal world order, if you give it a long enough timeline, we will all have to shave our mustaches down. Not even have to. If you give it a long enough timeline, we will all want to. That's really what the FBAs and the ADOS are kind of speed running toward right now. Maybe they can't see the end conclusion, but I can see it. There's an order and a pattern of things. You know, we are all the same kinds of animal, effectively, right? And we're gonna do what we do. And there's just a natural pattern to these kinds of things. Once you start to love your country, then you start to want to defend it. Well, defend it from who? Well, now you start to have a conversation about, well, who's in here and who's out there? Who are really my people? And what does that really consist of? What does that mean? And like, these are conversations that I've been kind of working out internally, well, extemporaneously on this platform here. I've kind of logic and reasoned my way to a kind of unique position, unique for a Black American at this point, but this is kind of how I've logic myself to this position. This is why I'm like, you know what? I got no beef with the white nationalists. America was low-key born as a white nation. Black folk, for whatever reason, we lucked up and wound up here as slaves, so we paid our dues. Blood and soil, you can kiss my ass. I'm going to be here forever. And that means that we should probably defend this place against everybody else who really wants to take it from us, right? That doesn't mean I have to get along or be in love with every white person, because there are going to be white people who actually, they're going to be the white nationalists who literally hate Black folk. And that's fine. That's why we both have guns, and that'll keep everybody behaving and well-mannered and all that. But when the time comes, we're still going to have to keep everybody else off our lawns collectively. It's not it's not an illogical position as far as I understand it, but it requires a little bit of thought, because we've all been taught that, well, we've all come up under the liberal global order of things. And so you're supposed to want to, burn it all down for race war. And I'm like, nah, now that I think about it, who's putting that idea in our heads anyway?
Hey, you get the bag and fumble it, I get the bag and flip it and tumble it. Straight off the lot, 300 cash, and the car came with a blunt in it.
Stand on it. I denounce anybody coming over here to my country that my people built, fought in every single war, and they over here doing that right there. That picture should be on every single magazine across the country, and it should straight up say war. And if they're not gonna say it, family, then Black Alpha gonna say it, and the new black media gonna say it. That right there is a goddamn sign of war. This right here. And you can thank that right there why you got Julio on the floor sitting right damn there. President of the United States of America, he said, when they spit, we hit, making it crystal clear that
when they spit, we hit. Oh, he really said that? When they spit, we hit. Oh, I didn't even realize it was that lit. When they spit, we hit. Those are my rules. That's my rule. What he did, bro? That nigga just like me, son. That nigga just like me.
Can a nigga live? Can a nigga live? Please.
He said, when they spit, we hit.
Damn sign of war. This right here. And you can thank that right there why you got Julio on the floor sitting right damn there. President of the United States of America, he said, when they spit, we hit, making it crystal clear that violence is about to get ramped up, family, and I'm here for it. And the migrants just ain't getting it, y'all. The illegals just ain't getting it. See, what you're dealing with are a bunch of spoiled ass people, all right?
Bruh. That nigga just like me for real, son. That nigga just like me for real. Those are my rules. That nigga he literally took a rule. He stole a play out of my playbook. Bro, I can't believe we living by the rules. This is dope. Finally a president that looked like me. It's all I ever wanted out of America, is a president that was like me. Shout out to Trump, man. He's just like me for real. Only thing different between me and Trump is like a lot of millions of dollars, bro. That's really it. And that's really not nothing when you think about it. That's really, it was a couple $1 million. And that nigga is just like me for real, though. That's crazy.
Let's go there, fam. Can we get into the mind of a migrant? Can we really say why it's right here? These people are not in the streets fighting for a right to stay in America. They're in the streets fighting for a right to be accepted by white people. They want to be accepted by white folks. Can we be real about it, y'all? This is what it's really about. Julio and Gonzalez and Pedro, they are not in the streets because they want a nice home in America. No, they have been sold a bill of goods by the liberals that if you come over here, we will treat you like honorary whites. This right now is a supremacist and a supremacist battle. You got the supremacists who say we're going to make these people the honorary whites and give them tangibles and benefits above blacks. And then you got the other supremacists who says, I don't give a damn about none of them. Call the National Guard. When they spit, we hit. This is really what it is. And when you understand the system of supremacy the way we do, we see something that these folks can't comprehend. They can't compute it. These folks right now are getting their wake-up call. It has nothing to do with just immigration. Because
I feel like he's off, but he's on to something. I don't know if he's really on it with the white thing, but a lot of illegals are getting a wake-up call. Like, you thought white folk were just gonna sleep forever? Like, that's the real white wake-up call. Like, white people are actually waking up. And so I don't know if he's really accurate about like the white card. Are you gonna replace? You're gonna be the new white people. He's kind of framing it weirdly, but white people are waking up, and that's kind of the white wake-up call, right? White people are discussing like white unity and white solidarity, white wellness, all these things, right? And that concept alone will shatter the liberal framework. Because, you know, it's a simple proposition. If everybody else gets to tribe up, how come they can't tribe up? Oh, they're the bad tribe, but they're the tribe that pays for everything? Oh, well, we just gonna have to fix that. That doesn't work.
Benefits above blacks, and then you got the other supremacists who says, I don't give a damn about none of them. Call the National Guard. When they spit, we hit. This is really what it is. And when you understand the system of supremacy the way we do, we see something that these folks can't comprehend. They can't compute it. These folks right now are getting their wake-up call. It has nothing to do with just immigration. Because you know what I always say, and I've been saying it for how long? Immigration really means proximity to white people. That's what it's all about. These folks.
You know, there's a phrase going around on far right Twitter right now. You do not have the right to access to right. What is access to white people is not a right. And that's really kind of what it seems to boil down to in a lot of arguments, right? A lot of people simply want access to white people. They just want to bask in the whiteness.
Folks, of course they fail in their homeland. Of course they have no plumbing. The lady said it earlier. But can I of course something else? Of course they wake up every single day and they pledge allegiance to white people. And then they turn on anybody who won't give them access to the white community. So they've been coming over here, getting that puppet contract, that supremacist minion contract, that immigrant migrant contract, that fleer contract that says, you come over here, we'll treat you like white folks. But guess what? Joe Biden ended up being 3,000 years old, and Kamala Harris ended up going back to India. So that contract is null and void. So all the things that they were getting before, they don't have any goddamn more. These people are just some spoiled ass folks who want to come over here and live off of our taxpayer dollars for free, live off of our work for free, live off what we created for free. And now you ain't getting it no goddamn more because Donald Trump simply said no.
That is a great point, Freeman's Journal. He says the way ninjas act, they haven't been in the tank for illegal immigration for 40 years is bewildering. I was in the barbershop, Ninja. I heard you. Yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways, black folk kind of like set themselves up for this this problem. We've been encouraging our own demographic replacement, as it were. And so it does, I guess, to like the Latino population, it would feel like weirdly hypocritical. Oh, so now you niggas don't support us, right? And niggas is like, no, nah, suddenly we don't. Yeah, that's it's wild, I know, right? It's crazy how suddenly we don't really mess with y'all like that no more. Anyway, bye, Pablo.
Those protests spreading to other cities, Chicago, New York, for example, in the next few days?
Yes, we're going to be watching it very closely. And when they spit at people, you know, they spit. That's their new thing. They spit, and worse, you know what they throw at them, right? And when that happens, I have a little statement. They say they spit, we hit. And I told them, nobody's going to spit on our police officers. Nobody's going to spit on our military.
Well, there you go.
Don't be out there protesting. Don't be out there protesting. This is not our fight. Stay home. Don't be protesting. Don't be.
So yesterday, Bernie Sanders held a rally, a May Day rally in Philadelphia. It was a rally for workers, migrant workers, for immigrants, basically anybody who was against the administration and Trump, right? Amongst the thousands of people that were there in protest, thousands of white people, by the way. Thousands of white people, by the way, right? There were about 70 people arrested. Guess what? Majority of those people that were arrested were the few black people who were out there. Although I have personally stressed time and time again, please do not go out into the roads, don't go in the streets, do not protest, because I have a feeling you will be sought after. Although I have preached this multiple times on my platform, there's still some of us who feel passionately enough and want to go out there. And so they did. And because of that, they were arrested.
And a lot going on behind you.
Yeah, a lot going on, Fred. Right
Do you
now,
think that
things kind of took a little bit of a turn.
this was a coincidence?
Some of the protesters got a warning twice
Who
to
you see
vacate so they can
is
open
being
up
walked
Broad
through
and Vine, and you
in
can see
zip
some are now
ties.
being put in zip ties and being led away over to a bus that's over there.
There's another arrest.
What's going on right now?
It's not the same.
Do you have anything to say? No.
Solidarity.
Is it worth it to make a stand like this?
Solidarity forever.
The reporter asked her, was it worth making a stance like this? And her response was solid.
Imagine going to jail so the Mexicans can replace you. This is why y'all girls don't need no rights, man. Y'all don't really know what y'all doing. This is exactly why y'all chicks don't need rights, man. I'm almost tempted to just let's start out by taking black women's voting rights away. You know, we can talk about white women later. Let's just start with black women first.
Because there are a lot of people in this country who do not like black women, but black women are the base of the Democratic Party.
Solidarity forever. Where are the white allies? Where are they? Why weren't they shielding her? Why did y'all let her get them? Not even just her. Why did y'all let them get arrested so easily? Why wasn't any commotion being made? Where's the solidarity? Where is it? And this is why I don't want any of my people, I don't want anybody who is of color going out there. I don't want you out there. I don't want you out there because we will say solidarity. We will ask for peace. We will ask for union. But then when we expect for it to be returned, crickets. Fucking crickets. And don't tell me, oh, why you gotta make everything about race. That crowd was filled with thousands of white people. Thousands of white people, yet they managed to find 2 black women to put in zip ties and to parade in front of the reporters and the cameras. Stop playing in my face. So yesterday, Bernie Sanders held a rally, a May Day rally in Philadelphia. It was a rally for workers, migrant workers, for immigrants, basically anybody who was against the administration and Trump, right?
Not tomorrow.
Follow the latest out of Los Angeles, where California Governor Gavin Newsom is now saying that he will file a lawsuit against the Trump administration for deploying National Guard troops without his request. It's a move he is slamming as, quote, unconstitutional.
Donald Trump has created the conditions you see on your TV today. He's exacerbated the conditions. He's, lit the proverbial match. He's putting fuel on this fire ever since he announced he was taking over the National Guard. An illegal act, an immoral act, an unconstitutional act.
And for more on this, we're joined now by Axios senior politics reporter Mark Caputo. Mark, is the governor right?
I don't know. I'm not a constitutional scholar nor expert, and the courts will decide that issue.
So how has what we've seen this weekend from President Trump played into the larger political agenda of his?
Well, I would imagine both Newsom and Trump have their own political agendas. And
a shout out to Big Time with the 5 ball. And appreciate you guys coming through. You guys have been generous tonight. We got a lot of people in here tonight trying to grow this channel, man. If you guys are new to this channel, please make sure you subscribe, hit that little bell so you don't miss anything, man. I'll tell you a little secret. YouTube is playing a weird game with me right now. I put together an edited video about this exact topic, Black people and this immigration issue. And for whatever reason, YouTube has decided to put my video under a 24-hour review. And it's really nothing shocking. There's nothing graphic in it. Oh, they just released my video. You know what? We're going to watch a live release of a video I'm about to drop. You heard it here first. I'm going to what do you call it? I'm going to instant premiere and live watch my own instant premiere at the same time. We're going to inception my own work in a few minutes. Hit that like button, guys. But thank y'all for coming through. Hit that like button, subscribe, make sure you follow. And shout out to Big Time with the $5 super chat. He says, as a representative of white people and an ortho bro, please take the white woman's vote away as well, Hood. You know, I'm with you 1,000%. They all got to go. But I was kind of playing off of a particular idea.
If I was the president, the first thing I would do, I ain't gonna lie, I'm black and I'm proud, but I hate niggas though, I swear. I gotta find a way to put a restraint on some niggas, I swear to God. Cause like niggas be geeking, like a lot wrong with our country because of niggas. I swear to God, every other culture look out for themselves. Niggas be geeking. Like niggas are the reason why America is the way it is. And white people too. White people too, no bullshit though. But niggas be geeking though, for real. So I gotta do something about the niggas though. I gotta keep them in line. I gotta keep them in line, bro. We gotta make some laws for niggas. No bullshit.
Strictly niggas.
Niggas. That's what they first. Niggas first, and then everybody else.
And so far, the Trump White House, which is what I cover, thinks that this is the fight that they wanted. Not sure what Gavin Newsom thinks, but I doubt he's acting the way he is without thinking it's a winning hand for him. For Trump, he's having some trouble passing his major tax cut and immigration policy bill. And the news that came out of Los Angeles, his reaction to it, and then Newsom's reaction to it is going to make it easier, and they're doing it now, for Trump's White House to begin messaging to Republicans saying, you're either with Trump and with immigration enforcement and this bill, or you're with Gavin Newsom and people waving Mexican flags in front of burning cars set aflame by rioters. That's the choice that you're going to start hearing the White House make publicly. They're making it privately now to Congress to get their legislation passed.
So we got a little bit of breaking news right now. While Gavin Newsom and President Trump are sparring, and Trump is debating whether or not to send the feds to arrest Newsom, effectively for obstruction of justice, right? We just put 700 Marines on the ground. 700 Marines have been mobilized. I guess Camp Pendleton is active.
700 U.S. Marines. More than 700 U.S. Marines have been mobilized to respond to protests in Los Angeles, some of which turned violent over the weekend. One county official called last night, quote, probably one of the most volatile nights in the city's recent history. Police declared all of downtown Los Angeles, an area of about 5 square miles, an unlawful assembly area after a third night of protests turned violent. The Los Angeles police chief late last night saying, quote, this violence that I've seen is disgusting, unquote. Some of the protesters, or more accurately, rioters, shot commercial-grade fireworks at law enforcement officers. Others set self-driving cars on fire. CNN witnessed police using flashbangs and tear gas to disperse crowds. Police arrested 27 people just yesterday alone. All of this started on Friday. That's when Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, conducted workplace raids in LA. The Department of Homeland Security said operations in LA last week resulted in the arrest of 118 undocumented immigrants, including 5 gang members and others with prior criminal histories of drug trafficking, assault, cruelty to children, domestic violence, robbery, and alien smuggling. The roots of this aggressive ICE activity last
Alien smuggling sounds wicked. Like them niggas got Martians under the floorboards, bro. They got Martians, people from Jupiter. What do you call that? A Jupiter-tarian? They smuggling aliens, bro.
Last week may have been seen last month when top Trump aide Stephen Miller, sources tell CNN, demanded that immigration agents ramp up deportation efforts and seek to arrest 3,000 undocumented immigrants a day. 3,000, that's triple the number of daily arrests from the early days of Trump's term. In response to the ICE action in LA on Friday, some protesters began gathering outside the Metropolitan Detention Center. But as day turned to night, things got out of hand, not only downtown, but about 10 miles east in Paramount, California. Now, law enforcement says that protesters moved in on them and officers used flashbangs to disperse the crowd. The FBI's Los Angeles field office announced a $50,000 reward for information on a man that the LAPD says assaulted an officer and damaged property.
50 grand is enough to snitch. Your grandmama might snitch on you for 50 grand.
Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass said ICE gave city officials no warnings of these raids, which made it difficult, if not impossible, to plan for.
Why would we warn you? You're just gonna snitch. You're gonna warn the cartel. We're not gonna warn you. We're just gonna show up with a warrant and some guns. That's how you do
quelling
it.
any spontaneous protests. Then on Saturday, President Trump took the rare major step of deploying the California National Guard despite the objections of the Democratic governor of California, Gavin.
What's to object though? Like, how are you gonna make the people stop? You think once you pull back the police and the ICE agents, they're gonna stop burning cars down? Like, you don't really understand the energy of a riot. And this is the whole reason why people want to start riots and gather people together, because you never know what happens when hundreds and thousands of people get together in one spot. Sometimes they might get a little crazy. They might get a little rambunctious. And what do you do then? What happens when 1,000 people just don't feel like going home yet? And you know that old saying, you don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here, right? That's kind of how that goes. Okay, you know what? It looks like we're going to take a little break. I want to share something with you guys. I'm going to put a link in the chat, and I would like for you guys to at least click the link once so you know we can get some clicks on this new video. I think my video is premiering right now, and we are going to switch over to the instant premiere. Give me 1 second here. We throw these links in the chat. Bam. So if you didn't get the alert, we have an instant premiere of a video I just put together. Might as well run it all together right now. But please click the link in the chat, and we are gonna jump to this new video. Let me pull this up right here. All right, bam.
Demonstrations had been going on right outside the Federal Detention Center. Most of those demonstrators were very peaceful. They were chanting, they were shouting. People were driving by, honking their horns. And again, they were expressing their anger about the detention of so many immigrants at the Federal Center. Most of the evening, the federal agents stayed inside the building, but at a certain point, some of the demonstrators got very close to the property. In fact, some of them went onto the property, started tagging the building, started banging on fences. And shortly after all that happened, the agents started firing off tear gas.
I'm downtown walking around. This is bullshit. Look what the they did to the Kobe mural down here. How disrespectful can you be? What a fucking joke. Disrespecting the GOAT, man, and his daughter. This is unbelievable.
It's a tank? Come on, that's a tank. I swear it looks like a tank from here. Where? Right in the middle, the big one where they're all mounted on top of. Oh, wow.
Y'all see this shit?
Yeah, come on.
We in Compton. CPT.
Got my neighbor right there.
I'm finna tell black people, go home. Hey, family. Black folks, go home. Black folks, go home. This is not our business. This is not our business. Black people, go home. Go home. Some of you who live in California, Arizona, Texas, you have a negative view of immigrants because of the communities that you live in and because of where displaced people end up going into our neighborhoods. It creates this this systematic battle.
No more money for you.
You know, it creates the kind of hatred that allows this to now go unchecked because you already have negative feelings about people who come into this country.
Right. It's lazy. You lazy. You lazy.
Because of the proximity, because they get to come in, set up shop, set up homes, set up businesses, and you feel like somehow they're coming and taking something from you, and it is. It feels like that because that's the way it's been set up, and and your reality is your reality.
No more money for you. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye.
Go back across the
No more money for you. No more money for you. It's lazy. You lazy. You lazy. No more money for you.
Take your ass.
This is about to blow over into the worst possible outcome. And the left, they made this happen. Y'all have to understand, remember back when Trump had declared the cartel a terrorist organization. We literally had so many leftists sitting here glazing the cartel, supporting the cartel, simply because they don't like Trump. These people are so dangerous, so deranged, that they will give our nation to the hands of literal human traffickers and murderers simply because, hey, we both share the same enemy. You guys don't like Trump and he's doing this to you. We don't like him, so let's work together and we're gonna burn this bitch down. And that's exactly what's happening. It is extremely organized out there. It is way more organized, man, than plenty of the previous protests that we've had in the past. This is organized. The way, like, this isn't just random people leaving their houses and showing up. No, this is organized. This is calculated. You have gangs in there, and again, you talking about a lot of these groups who have weapons, who have firearms, things like that, drones. A lot of drones flying around the city. That's not law enforcement. You know, we gotta wake up. We being attacked.
Because this is a war. You don't come into any country and wave a foreign flag while you light things up. Everybody out there who's picking team migrant, team illegal, team treason, you're going to find out the hard way, because this is going to escalate further and further and further.
This is not a domestic riot. Yeah, of course, you got the leftists out there, you know, you got so-called Americans out there that's rioting and stuff, but come on. At some point in time, y'all got to stop with this political correctness and pretty words and call it what it is. This is an insurrection, pure point blank, and all it was waiting for was a spark. And ICE, federal forces coming out there and actually executing our constitutional law was a spark they needed. Brothers and sisters, when we look across the ocean, right, and we look into Europe, and we see how many of those foreigners have went to Europe and they're rioting over there. They're protesting, they're doing all this, right? And I've seen so many Americans say that would never happen here. Yet it is. It is happening here. And we have to do something about it. At some point in time, we got to call it what it is. We've been invaded, and now the invaders are attacking us simply because now we're kicking them out.
And FBA's over here getting further and further the hell away from y'all. We denounce all of the open border Democrats. We denounce all the open border policies. We denounce all of the foreign flag waving. We denounce all the migrants, the hoppers, the skippers, the jumpers, and the tethers. We denounce anybody with an anti-American stance, because simply we are Americans. Simple as that.
Black people in LA, don't get in that mess. Please do not get in that mess what's going on in LA. Y'all stay in the house. Y'all get what y'all need to get and sit back and watch, okay? This is their turn. This is their turn to get their butt kicked out there. It's their turn to get deported. It's their turn to go to jail. It's their turn to get gaffled up. Don't let them Democrat people out there trick y'all into going out there and protecting people that will not protect you. Okay? I know they're going to get out there, hey, black people, we need your help. You know, this is a civil rights issue. Even though we came over here legally, but still, this is a civil rights issue. No, it's not y'all issue. Anytime that we go through stuff on this country, them same people will say, pick yourself up by the bootstrap. Why y'all always blaming the white man? Why y'all always talking about racism all the time? Why y'all are not oppressed? I crossed the border in the Rio Grande River with nothing in my pocket, and look at me. Now, let them figure that out. Let them figure it out, man. We ain't got to put the cape on these people at all. Don't say these folks. Don't get your ass out there and get gaffled up by them people. The National Guard is not looking for you. They looking for them other folks, okay? So this is what y'all do, LA. Y'all sit back, chill, sit in your house, have a little barbecue, do your little, your little thing y'all be doing out there on the West Coast. You know what I mean? Please do not let them people, them politicians, boost y'all head up and try to make it seem like their fight is our fight. Their fight is not our fight. They never fought for us. We should not fight for them. Tell them hallelujah. Tell them hallelujah to help them out. I love y'all, LA. Y'all be safe out there.
You're running us over. You're shooting us, all because of the color of our skin. All because we have culture. We brought it here, and we are who we are, and we love it here, and we help people here. That's what we're known for. We help people, and yet we're getting terrorized. We're going through this. Our families are our babies are literally being ripped from our hands. If someone could please tell me if there's something we can do to help our people. Please just imagine yourself in our situation. Imagine your people are being terrorized. They're being ran over. If you literally cannot have empathy for someone, I don't know what to tell you. You're an evil ass human being, and you need help, and you need God. You have no heart, and hell, there's a special place in hell for you. Karma is real, and God will take care of them. This is so heartbreaking. I don't know what we could do to help. I feel so helpless. I just want to help with something. I just want this to end. I just want there to be peace like there was peace. I just want that. That's all I want for us.
I'm calling Trump on you, you illegal motherfucker.
Gavin Newsom. This was the first time a president called in the National Guard without a state's request or consent since Lyndon Johnson did it in 1965. President Trump yesterday told reporters that any violence against any law enforcement officers is unacceptable.
I have a little statement. They say, they spit, we hit. And I told them, nobody's going to spit on our police officers. Nobody's going to spit on our military, which they do as a common thing.
Trump offended the...
We got a couple of super chats that came up. So that was my video, guys. Shout out to Carmen. Appreciate you being a good sport. Crying for the camera. Well, no, that wasn't really Carmen. Don't start thinking that. But that was my little video, y'all. I'll put the link in the chat to the video. Please click that link. Give me a couple of views on there. Let me get some of those algorithm monetized credits going. You know, I need that monetization money. Shout out to Joey Montana with the $9.99 super chat. He says, Trump passed an executive order classifying cartels as terrorist organizations. And as a Latino member of the Church of Misogyny, I am happy to get these gang-banging illegals up out of here. Shout out to the church members. We are all in agreement. We all hold hands in agreement in the church, man. We got to do what we got to do, man. Trump never did nothing. Trump didn't do nothing wrong, man. Shout out to Chief Rocker with the $20 super sticker. He didn't even want to say nothing, just 20 ball. Shout out to my man Joey. Shout out to Chief Rocker, man. Smash that super chat button for me, y'all.
Hulk! Smash! Smash you! You make Hulk angry. You not like Hulk angry. Hulk no like fighting girls.
There by the notion of spitting on police officers or military while protesting immigration enforcement. He says that's not okay. We would be remiss if we did not point out that it was just 4 months ago that the very same president pardoned a different group for beating police officers while storming the U.S. Capitol to object to the 2020 election results.
You know the funny thing about that January 6th right-wing erection? It was a right erection, but they had a lot of American flags with them. You know, they brought American flags into the Capitol building. That was the poetic irony of the January 6th thing, right? They allegedly broke into the Capitol, but they brought American flags into the Capitol because apparently you guys forgot who we are.
You will never hear Trump or top deputy Stephen Miller call that attack on January 6, 2021 an insurrection. But Stephen Miller did use that term to describe the protests in Los Angeles, calling it, quote, an insurrection against the laws and sovereignty of the United States. There are
clearly thousands of people in the streets of LA compared to like 100 people maybe that actually ran into the Capitol building. Like, come on. If thousands of people don't really make an insurrection, then there's no such thing. Thousands of people waving a foreign country's flag, though. That's really kind of what makes it problematic, right? Again, the January 6th guys, whatever they did wrong, they did it literally wrapped in the American flag. These guys are wrapped in the Mexican flag, and that means a lot.
Quite a few, shall we call them, evolving positions taken by Democrats and Republicans since a year ago, when some Democrats were urging President Biden to federalize the National Guard in Texas to stop that state's Republican governor's anti-immigration, illegal immigration efforts. And the woman who is now our Homeland Security Secretary, then South Dakota Governor Kristi Rome, took to MAGA media and to Twitter to say, quote, if Joe Biden federalizes the National Guard, that would direct attack on states' rights, unquote. But Be that as it may, we are where we are here, and Republicans would argue that.
Do states have the right to flood the country with infinite illegal people? Because if states don't have the right to own citizens, like if states don't have the right to slavery, maybe they don't have the right to flood the country with illegal people either. This is a weird place to put the states' rights argument. I feel like you're trying to invoke some blackness right now.
The Democrats have played a role in all of this by not enforcing immigration laws for decades, setting the stage for President Trump to begin this aggressive pattern of deportations, which he ran and won on. A new CBS News poll taken before the ICE action in Los Angeles finds that 55% of the Americans polled approve of the goals of Trump's deportation program, but 56% are not sold on the approach he is using to carry it out. CNN's Kyung La is on the ground in Los Angeles for us now with all the latest on how Governor Newsom today is firing back against Trump's actions.
They come for one. They come for all.
Calm following chaos in downtown Los Angeles. A peaceful protest not far from LA's City Hall.
Hey, hey, hey!
And a strong police presence near the federal building.
I feel like there maybe, there's a company with really advanced, cutting edge, bleeding edge digital technology. Maybe there's a company that can track and identify each and every one of these people. Let's make up a name for this type of company. What would we call it? Not Skynet. That's too new. No, everybody knows Skynet. Palantir. That sounds like a good name for a company that could do something like that. This would be a good time for a company like that to just catch a couple of free bodies. This would be a great time for a big company like that to just catch a couple of free bodies, to test out some things. It's funny. I actually had to sell mine recently. I had to make a little bit of a purchase of something I needed to get done. So I pulled my money out, but it was up though. It was profit. Palantir stock is strong.
All of downtown has been declared an unlawful assembly area after hundreds of protesters took to the streets in this part of the city, clashing with local law enforcement and the National Guard. The protests sparked by local immigration raids like this one unfolding across Los Angeles.
That's f***ed up, look.
Witnesses too afraid to speak on camera watched and filmed as Immigration and Customs Enforcement arrested street vendors at gunpoint.
Oh my God, they arrested the fruit seller. Oh, not the fruit, the chick with the mangoes and the big, oh man, they're not the big breast girl with the mangoes. Oh, God damn it. Damn, that's tragedy. They arrested the big titty girl with the mangoes. Damn, I was going to buy some mangoes tomorrow. I swear to God, I really was. No, Lotto, I am so glad they start arresting all these rogue fruit pushers. I feel like this is like a cartel-oriented operation, man. Really, where did all these poor foreign people, they just arrived to America with a fruit cart and a dream? No, this is a cartel operation. I swear to God, I feel like this is like low-key slavery and money laundering at the same time. Those fruit people are a part of a giant multinational cartel organic slavery operation. Big Time with the $5 super chat says, "Don't worry, we can't deport illegals. It's too dangerous, but we can deport the Palestinians as they are too dangerous to live in is not real, right? Right? I'm staying out of that one. You notice I've been kind of studiously, I've been disciplined. I've been very disciplined. I've been avoiding certain topics because I know I have a tendency, you know, I start to drink when I do this show sometimes, and then it's hard to control. It's hard to discipline when you drink and talk.
Outside the LA Coliseum, the site of the Olympic Games that will be held here, some protesters violently pushing back against these raids on Sunday, burning cars, defacing buildings. National Guard troops fired back, blasting tear gas and pepper spray. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass blaming the unrest squarely on the Trump administration.
If immigration raids had not happened here, we would not have the disorder.
Lady, you got a little bit something wrong with your face. She's got like that permanent Joker smile. Like the Joker in the OG Jack Nicklaus, Michael Keaton Batman. What year did that come out? In like 1989 or something? You got that permanent Joker face. This is why I would have never voted for a woman like that anyway. Like, I just don't trust your face. Physiognomy check, fail.
That went on last night.
And saying the unrest escalated after hundreds of California National Guard troops arrived on scene Sunday, deployed by President Donald Trump, overriding city and state leaders. California Governor Gavin Newsom saying in a post the president flamed the fires and illegally acted to federalize the National Guard. California's Attorney General added,
how can you illegally federalize the National Guard when thousands of people are in the street burning things? The looting started already. Like, there's been looting. I haven't even shown. Maybe I'll show you some looting next. Let's take a look at some looting before we get out of here. We can't do a show about riots in LA without showing people looting, because that's one place you will find black people. Black folk are not going to protest for the Mexicans, but we will steal some Jordans and TVs at night. Because, like, you'd be stupid not to, right?
the state plans to file suit over the order to send in the troops.
They did so without authorization from Governor Newsom and against the...
We're drinking vodka, Telescope. We were drinking vodka. I don't drink a lot of dark liquor anymore, but we're drinking some vodka. The beer's gone. Beer and vodka usually does it for me, though.
Wishes of local law enforcement who were on the ground.
It felt like fuel for a fire that was unnecessary. It was 100 people. 27 people were arrested. There wasn't a reason for this. That is the concern.
Trump posting that he made a great decision sending in the Guard, saying otherwise Los Angeles would be completely obliterated.
The people that are causing the problem are professional agitators, they're insurrectionists.
And what you're looking at live is this crowd. This is a new protest that has sprung up in just the last hour or so, and it is on the move in Los Angeles. We are in downtown Los Angeles. We're walking with this crowd, and something that I want to point out, Jake, is that this is a very different crowd than the one you just saw in my story. The group that you saw in my story was a union-led protest, a mix of people who are familiar faces in Los Angeles, union leaders, older people, families. This group that's on the walk, definitely not that. So the question will be is, what is law enforcement going to do now as this group?
You know, it's funny how the news always finds the peaceful protest. It's weird. They only find the peaceful protest. This is why we have internet journalism. Shout out to all the internet detectives out there, man. We wouldn't even have the modern right wing if it wasn't for internet journalism. Because the news can't get to stuff like this. All right? We're at the end of the show now, and here are the black people supporting the Latinos.
You guys, they're looting. Can I get a new pair of shoes too? I'm not doing shit. Yo, grab me a shirt. No, I'm just kidding. Man, let me just get a shirt up in here, dog. I watch your bike. Yeah, I got you, bro. Hey, whoa, bike.
He's like, I need all that. What the fuck? He's got boxes, Jordans. Bro, they're wild the fuck out here. The guys go to the cash register.
Yeah, boys! I didn't even know.
I told you this is where the black people finally showed up. All the daytime stuff, the free La Raza, we're doing it for the illegals, the immigrants. You know, I feel bad for them. Black folk wasn't showing up for none of that. Black folk was not showing up for none of that. We were not trying to do none of these things. Really none of these niggas even speak Spanish. None of the black people in this part of the video speak Spanish at all. This is how little they are in line with the Latino community. But, you know, free Jordans and T-shirts, you know, I need an outfit right now. I need a fresh outfit right now. You lucky I'm not in Los Angeles. And what's up with the mariachi music in the background? Who's got the mariachi music on the Bluetooth speaker?
We are labor, and we move the agenda to support working families all over the country. And if somebody gets in our way, shame on them.
This nigga albino. This nigga is albino. Well, I can't even. I have a hard time getting a racial line on this guy.
We are labor, and we move the agenda to support working families all over the country. And if somebody gets in our way, shame on them, because we're going to run right over them, aren't we? Shame! It's time to make their voices heard. Shame on us if we don't get out there and fight.
He's albino. I think he's an albino Mexican. He's albino. I don't think I've ever seen an albino before. There's like every now and then one in a half a million, 1 in a million crocodiles come out white. This nigga is albino. Holy crap. They really they are digging in the crates right now. They are really digging in the POC crates. I have never seen an albino Mexican before. This nigga albino as hell, bro. Wow. It's amazing.
And if somebody gets in our way, shame on them, because we're going to run right over them, aren't we? Shame! It's time to make their voices heard. Shame on us if we don't get out there and fight like hell every single day and make our voices heard. We've got to do that because we are united. We are right. And we're going to stand up and we're going to fight like hell every single day. Are you ready to fight? Yeah! Are you ready to fight?
What do you mean fight? What do you mean fight? Who are you trying to fight? You know we called up the Marines, right? You talking all this fight stuff. You trying to fight like it's not 700 Marines here.
Yeah! Are you ready to make your voices heard? Yeah! Let's do it. Thank you.
All right, shout out to the #1 albino in the country. The only one albino in the country. Never even heard of this thing before. There's a whole new species of POC right there. I told you this is infotainment. We inform, we entertain, we educate, we illuminate. This is a lot happening in one show. There's a whole lot going on in one show, man. We done discovered a whole new type of like non. This nigga's like he's an invisible non. You can barely tell he's a non. This nigga's day walking like a motherfucker. Oh man, I gotta pee now. Oh, this is killing me. This nigga killing me. This nigga whole phenotype just set me off, man. Oh my god. This nigga whole phenotype is just shocking. What that? Wow, there's a story there, bro. Wow, there's a hell of a story there. The albino race warriors. Like, how do you albino race war, bro? Yeah. This whole time, I never thought it was the albinos you got to keep an eye on, though. crafty, translucent some bitches. You never know which way they're gonna land, man. Yeah, you never know which way they're gonna land, bro. These crafty albinos, man. And that's the weird thing. The albinos literally come in all shapes and sizes, right? Every race has an albino. The albino is its own race technically. They're nature's sleeper cell, bro. You never can tell which way they're coming from. I never saw this happening. We definitely got to end on that note. Man. This is wild. Somebody got to send a memo to the White House, man. Albino sleeper cells are populating the American West Coast. They are all waiting for the call to coordinate and launch an albino terrorist attack. Oh, what the hell, man? Of all the things, man, I didn't know we had to worry about the albinos, bro. This is why I do what I do, man, because the truth is out there. The truth is out there, bro. Damn albinos gonna dominate us all in the future. I'm telling you, man. They have a plan. I think the albinos, they have a plan to take over the world. That's really what it is. And the gingers work for the albinos. You don't want to know how deep the rabbit hole goes, all right? The Ginger Albino Alliance is the one conspiracy theory that you never ever allow to post about. That is the one conspiracy theory that'll get you shadow banned, demonetized. Federal government ninjas are gonna crash through your house window at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm telling you, I'm not even gonna keep talking about it, but you heard it here first. The Albino Ginger Alliance, that's who's really at the top of the Illuminati pyramid, bro. That's them, I'm telling you. Little albinoids, albino, yeah. I'm trying to tell you. It's the albinoid, the Albino Ginger Alliance, man. That is who really sits at the top of the Illuminati pyramids. But the gingers, they, even the high-level gingers, they just work for the albinos, bro. But it's all about the translucents and the reds, bro. It's red and translucent. Those are the colors that run the world, man. Red and translucent. All right, let me get out of here before the feds come get me. We gotta get out of here. I feel like I just made it onto a watch list. I gave up too much game. I gave up way too much game. I think I'm on a watch list. If I don't make it back tomorrow, just pray for me. You guys have a great night.
Aspiring to be patriarchs like what white men have, that isn't freedom. That isn't going to help anybody. It's certainly not going to help black people.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.